are live. We are live. Hey. Alright, I did the 2x speed thing, so I'm on 105, 104, 103. Hopefully that's good for you
same,
as well.
same.
Very nice, very nice. Okay.
Alright, so quick introduction before the Bushiroad stream starts. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Tressa Collectibles channel. I'm Randall, aka Shizukats.
And I'm Simu, also known as Chairman.
And today it's just going to be the two of us. Mike is preoccupied with some other stuff right now, so hopefully between just the two of us we'll be able to give you some good insight on some of the upcoming announcements for Weiss Schwarz. And then maybe also Simu can give a little bit of insight on some of the Cardfight Vanguard and Shadowverse stuff as he usually does. How excited are you for this particular stream, Simu?
Okay, honestly, I'm just gonna be honest about the Vanguard stuff. Ever since they added Lyrical to like the normal sets, it's been so hard for me to keep up with Vanguard. Because before I would just have to like turn my brain off, and it's like maybe like twice a year I have to care about Vanguard. But now it's like every single set there's new cards for me, so it's like it's been pretty rough. Oh, right before we start, also, well, chat, let me know how the volume is. It's my first time streaming it, so if anything's too loud or too soft, just let me know. Oh, who the heck are you?
This is no longer Matt.
A new person.
Yeah. So there's gonna be 4 different people on the stream. According to the thumbnail, it's gonna be 3 people from Bushiroad plus different fight. Assuming for
yo, another person.
Yeah, I'm assuming it's gonna be different fight for Vanguard, and then 3 people from Bushiroad. And 3 people for Bushiroad for the other stuff.
YouTube channel and other online streaming platforms. Today marks the release of a few highly anticipated products.
Are you excited for Divine Season 2 with
I haven't
Hikari?
started yet. I haven't started yet, but
and Musketeer.
Yeah, I am definitely Hikari, my girl. Definitely excited for that.
For all our standard format players looking for a new challenge,
yeah, even though I don't play Vanguard, I'm pretty excited to see what the Goth Liel does.
Oh, true.
These fan favorite units will be returning with updated abilities in deck
Yeah, I think it's called Liel Odium, I think.
If you're looking for even more reasons
instead
to
of
play
Liel
Vanguard,
Amorta,
we've got you covered. Introducing the Anime to Life Showdown. As the name
What's
might
this?
suggest,
Anime to Life.
in this special tournament can only use right lines that have appeared in the first season.
Oh, you can only use
right
stuff
animation.
from the anime.
Will receive a pack of 5 sleeves.
Wait, I can't play this. I don't have any right lines. Wait,
no,
no, I have Chris Raid. Oh, I can play the Chris Raid right now. Let's go.
Oh,
so you get a pack of 5 sleeves for your ride line.
That's pretty cool.
For your ride deck.
Showdown
will
run throughout August, and more information can be found on our official website.
Yeah.
Yumen Okesha and Bang Dream fans, it's your time to
Wow,
shine.
Bang Dream more?
Wait,
what was that other thing? What is Yumen Okesho?
In this special tournament, you'll be
it's the VTuber thing.
Wait, is that a mat?
Players will receive
that does look like a mat.
Poppy. Look forward to this
Well,
special
that
shop
mat
tournament
looks
at your
sick.
nearest official tournament store starting this October.
Or not VTuber, it's like a synthesizer thing, right?
Yeah,
it's kind of like Vocaloid.
Yeah, it's like
Vocaloid?
IB's voice synthesizer.
Yeah.
Dimensional Transcendence,
Pretty funny.
and victorious players will be able to
Wow,
walk away
look
with
at
a
that.
present
We
of
have
their
D
choice.
Robo.
So
Where's
which
different
design
fight?
will you pick? Let us know in the comments.
I do like how in
Vanguard
other
Day is
games
back.
it seems like they're
October
trying to
after
add
a
more
1-month break.
events like throughout the
Participants
year.
will be able to receive
Oh,
this
cute.
special energy card featuring Hikari from
Cute.
the Card 5 Vanguard Divine's animation.
Okay, but where's the one with
above the rest will
with
also
like
receive a playmat
Dark
with the
Cloak
same
older
illustration.
Hikari?
Oh, look
Be
at
sure
the
to mark
bat.
your calendars
Oh,
for
she's
these
on it.
It was in the
important
bag.
dates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sick. Pretty cool.
Let's start off with a recap
Terrence
from the
Lynch.
Oh,
Bushiroad
here's
TCG
one person
strategy
that we've definitely seen
presentation.
before on these
Your favorite
streams.
Nikkeis will be arriving on the stage.
We've definitely
of
seen
Weiss
Terrence
Schwarz
before.
in April
Oh,
next year.
Okay,
yeah,
Fight
okay,
alongside
Nikkeis.
so
Nikkeis to stop the
Nikkei we already
Raptors
knew
onslaught
about
and
because
save
they
power
announced
Earth.
all 4
Stay tuned
languages
for
being
more
released
information coming
at the
soon.
same time, or not the same time, but they announced all of them
Huh?
at the same time.
Oh,
Macross Delta.
In English?
Wow.
Your audience with
Whoa.
extraordinary performances this
You know what's really
December.
funny is that Macross Frontier is in like licensing hell, so they don't even allow us to play it for WGP, but we're getting Macross Delta for English. That's also super
That's
cool.
so crazy, dude. Delta is nuts.
Because trial deck and booster pack.
Holy- oh, I we knew about
Frieren.
will be
Announced at AX.
November.
Release November. Release
Start
November.
preparing for your
Take note of
journey at
that.
your
That's
local
pretty
stores
early.
as pre-orders are now available. We've
Fleeted.
officially kicked off the Theme Cup.
Theme
For
Cup
those who
with
missed the
idols.
initial announcement,
Yeah.
the Theme Cup
Have
is
you
a
guys
new
run the
shop
Theme
level
Cup in
tournament
SoCal yet?
series that offers a
I haven't been keeping track of when they are, so
I see.
I don't know.
Ours is at the end of this month.
Stage for you to showcase
Okay.
your creativity and favorite decks. Each Team Cup will last for 3 months.
Oh, it's 3 months
You'll be able
each.
to participate
Okay.
Yeah.
with decks
And then
that
you
match
get
a
the
specified
two. No,
theme
it's
to
the
get
universal
English
door
edition
trigger from this,
original
right?
No, it's
promo
a
card
Tussle.
illustrated by
Is that the
famous
Tussle?
Which one's?
artists.
Where do you get the?
First,
Where do you get
Yeah,
the door
this is
from?
Tussle.
Idol
I don't know what the. I think the
and
door is
features
from
a promo
next
card drawn by
the next thing cup,
Okitaku.
not this one.
The Idol Team Cup is currently running until September 20th.
Or it's like from something
at
else.
all
Yeah.
official Bushiroad stores. For our players in the Asia region, our staff will be setting off on a magic carpet ride
Oh, yeah.
throughout the region.
Disney.
We'll be visiting stores, bring the enchanted world of Disney and Marvel to you through
Yep.
interactive demo sessions.
Asia only,
starting
though.
This
Asia
October.
only.
All participants will receive a promo
Pepe
card
Pain.
featuring Spider-Man and
Oh, I
exclusive
think that
Marvel
Spider-Man
top
memory kit
loaders.
counter was like
Visit our
really
website for the
expensive
full
in the JP
schedule and
version, if I remember
locations,
correctly.
and
Yeah,
get
I
ready
think it was
to
like a.
embark on an
I think it was like a
unforgettable
2,000 yen
journey
card.
filled with magic and wonder. Which journey are you most excited to embark on? Here's an overview of all the exciting adventures we have lined up for you.
Wait, was Macross even in the hint? I don't think it was, right?
I don't think so.
What the heck? It's so random.
I don't think so. So we have
December.
the need.
5th. Yeah, December.
We have the
13th.
Nikkei
Surprise!
official
Surprise!
announcement.
Although many of you
We
probably
have
know
the
that's
Freerin
different fight.
official
And with me
announcement.
is my
We
friend
have
and fellow co-host.
and then we have
Hey everyone, I'm
Macross.
Ignatius. We're your official
So
ambassadors
those are the three
for
things we're
English
getting.
edition of Shadowverse Evolve.
Oh, I'm actually
Stay
very
tuned,
interested in the
because today we'll be
Shadowverse
bringing you
announcement because
exciting new product and event
if we know-
announcements. Without
if we
further
get
ado,
the
let's get right
announcement of the
into
summer
the
set, I wonder if they're gonna
The
show
first
like
Glory
if it's
Finder
gonna be
bundle,
censored or
Guide
not.
to Glory will be released
that's
in
huge.
exactly
Is there
1
censor
week.
stuff?
Both
Yeah,
Baby
the
and
Shadowverse
I
is
have been
all
reviewing
censored
a bunch of
so far,
cards these
yeah.
past few weeks, and now that all the cards have been revealed, I'm sure everyone's been
no
thinking
Banlist
about
announcement yet?
what kind of deck they want to play. Which of the four
they didn't even
decks
announce, like, a
included in
date.
the bundle are you
Should I
most excited to
smudge?
play, Igni?
I can't wait
like
to
to
cook
know.
up a spicy deck
Yeah.
by combining the exalted
Okay, so for
blade with a bunch
Shadowverse,
of low-cost
did they announce?
followers
I forget. Did they
using
announce
Arthur
CG
and
already
Nike
for
as my
English?
glory code.
I don't think.
I
so.
love how his ability
Wait, no,
synergizes with
I think
cards that evolve.
I think they did,
I think they
right?
did, right? Yeah,
I'm
I
ready
think
to
they
pull
did.
off a crazy combo
Okay,
that
it's
will
only a matter of
huge
time,
burst
and by a matter of
damage
time I mean
for
like
my
probably in
opponent's
like a half a
ability
year, or
stuff.
maybe a year that they probably
I'm
announced
sure you're
Vanguard
excited
then,
to
right?
realm your
Oh,
Sonic
probably,
Racer
yeah.
to your deck when the 6th booster set drops next month.
I've been watching a little bit of
You know
different
it. I'll
fights
also
testing
be
stream for
Sonic
that, and I think
Racing
it's very
at the local
interesting
store,
watching
Guide to Glory.
Vanguard
I hope
cards in
everybody
Shadowverse.
watching will too.
It's really
The release of
strange
Guide to Glory
tying like
also means that there will be a
Shadowverse play
bunch of
point
events
costs
in the
to
Glory
Vanguard
format
cards
that
because I'm
you
so used to just like used to like 0, 1, 2, 3, and it's like no like PBO's a 9 drop and like critical triggers a 4 drop and
Right.
like this grade 2 is like a 1 drop. I'm just like ooh, this is weird.
Yeah, it's
All
kind of
participants will receive 1 card from promo series.
Have you taken a look at
6,
those cards at
and
all yet?
one lucky winner will
No,
also receive a
I try to
special
not look at the
foil
Japanese
version
cards
of
until they come to
Dragon Red
America.
For
I
those of
wanna
you
keep
up
my,
for
like,
a
mind
challenge,
open
take part in Glory Finder
of, like-
Clash, a
'cause, like,
series of weekly shop tournaments that run
I think like the
alongside
Japanese
regular
meta
shop
is like
tournaments.
developing very differently
All
than the English meta
participants
is
will
for
receive
Shadowverse,
one
so I kind
card
of don't
from
want
the
to
current
like.
promo series,
I don't wanna,
and
like,
up to 3 lucky winners will receive
predispose
1 copy
yourself.
of the
Yeah, yeah,
special
too much
foil
to it, 'cause
version
I kinda
of
wanna,
Dragon
like,
Red Quick.
Interpret the
More
English meta
information
for
about the Glory
myself.
Finder
Yeah.
events can be found
That makes
on the
sense.
I
official
feel
website.
like it's so far it's
head
giving
on
me
over
like quite a
for
good
full
edge in like
details.
tournaments because like I'm just playing
Venture
decks that
deep
like
into
I think
the
is good,
woods and fight
and everybody's
for the
playing
iridescent
like
world of Natura with
Japanese
Laika
lists,
and
and I'm just, like,
Dalion,
cooking them.
Or heed the call for rebellion in the Iron Rod
Alright,
world of
set
Aeola,
7.
alongside Tetra and Mono.
What
in
set
the
is
7th
JP on
booster
right
set,
now?
Verdant Steel.
God. I
Every
have
box of
10 or
Verdant
9, I
Steel
don't
card
remember.
packs will also include a random pack of 10
I think we
exclusive
have an
card
accelerated
sets,
schedule compared to
featuring
JP, so
artwork
we're,
of
I think
Cynthia
we're
the
actually
Queen's
catching up.
Blade, Valdane Cursed Shadow,
Wait, these are
Kudelak,
box
and
topper
Lilonia
sleeves? Wait, these are
Flossie.
lit.
They look
These
good.
sleeves will only be available in the first print of the product, so be sure to get your pre-orders in if you're
Yeah,
looking to give your
Japan's on
decks a
11
makeover.
right now.
Starting from the 7th booster set,
12
there
is-
will also be slight
12 is,
changes to the
launching
contents of
in
each box. While the number of
October.
cards in each pack will remain the same,
Oh, the
each box
Shadowverse
will
is,
now only include
changing to the
12
new-
card packs
the new
instead of
Weiss.
16.
The new Weiss
The
format.
number of
format,
boxes
yeah.
in each
Wait,
carton
which-
will
which
also be
Weiss
increased to 20.
product is gonna be
Although the
like,
number
on
of
the new
card
format
packs
first?
has decreased.
Is it gonna be
each box
free
will
run?
now include at
I'm
least
not
one
sure yet,
super
but
legendary
Freerun is
or
one that I know
higher
for
rarity
sure is
card,
on the
making
new
it
format in
easier for you
Japanese.
to
That's-
pull
and that's
those
November,
elusive
right?
chase cards.
To celebrate the launch of Verdant Steel, official Bushiroad
In
stores
chat. We said we have this is unrelated, but will you give any of your thoughts on the current JP restriction list? We can do that after the stream is over. After the boot
Take
stream.
part using
Wait,
only
but Freeman, they
cards
announced
from
for
Burden
November,
Steel and
right?
experience the
Yeah.
power of
And
the new
no,
National
what do you call it?
Mafia cards. All participants
set right
will
before that
receive
is
one card
Dengeki,
pack that includes
which
one
is the old
special
format.
foil version of Natural Grade
So it should be
Right.
free.
repair mode, or assembly.
The first.
It definitely could be. In Japanese, the first one that had the new format was Bunny Girl 3, which is not even announced yet for English. So I could definitely see Free Run just being the first one.
Yeah,
will
that
receive
makes sense,
a
I
super
think.
legendary promo version of Fina Dynamite
Oh
Daredevil.
look, legend.
One copy will also
Arvina.
be available via a lucky draw.
Hey, I know that
from
You know
character.
Fina. I was like, you know that
Fina.
character.
Promo Series 8
I haven't
will
used
be
her in
available
years, but I know
October and
Fina.
November
She's, like,
with a
OP right
super
now.
legendary promo version of
She
Visit
really needs to
Arches
get an
Being
FLB
Awaiting.
in Grand
Oh,
Blue.
seriously, yeah.
As usual, one copy will also be available via lucky draw.
Glory Finder Clash may be starting next week, but we've already got more.
I'm pretty hyped that Clarice is getting an FLB this month, though.
Glory Finder Clash will be kicking off.
Oh, this is the this is the Time Walk,
promo
right?
card
Yeah,
to
Time
collect.
Walk. Wait, when's
Transcend
Clarice
Dimensions,
FLB
this
coming
promo
out?
version of Dimension
This month.
Shift,
Oh.
featuring the format logo.
Okay.
She was on
Now that
the
showdown's
choreograph.
I mean, like, what
officially
date?
begun,
Like, I didn't-
it's time to announce.
Oh,
the actors
probably
for the first Grand Showdown.
usually it's between like the
Bushiroad's running it
16th to like the
back with
21st.
Oh,
Red
really?
Zone and
Okay.
myself,
I thought they came
and
out
we'll
at
be
the start of
covering
the
all
month.
the action live on YouTube on September 21st.
They usually get released in
I'm
like the middle.
super excited to be doing this again, and I hope you'll all tune in.
While Igni gets ready to run it back for the first Grand Showdown, Showdown Series 2 will start in October, culminating in the Asia-Oceania region's
Grand Showdown. Wow.
This Grand Showdown will be held in Singapore at the Suntech Singapore Convention. and
This
Exhibition
is just
Center
their
on
like
December
regional
21st.
series,
Yeah.
basically.
So
Genesis
I
Dragon,
think you
Swordsman,
can
and
actually
the
travel
Ultimate
to
Arc
these.
Super
I'm not
legendary
100% sure. I have to
promo
look
version
into it,
of
but I've been
Spinaria,
thinking about
Keeper of
traveling
Enigmas,
for these
will be
events.
available as promo
Because it's like
cards during
there's
these
only
Series
one
2
showdown per
challenges.
region, right?
The
So like,
champion will also walk
like
away
since
with an
America's
additional
last,
buy card that
I can
be
technically
used
like
at
go to the
Series
other
2
two
Grand
showdowns
Showdown.
first.
If you're
Right.
still on the fence,
So.
here's something that's sure to light your competitive spirit.
I saw like a really big
Players who place
storm.
highly can look
Is
forward
that
to
is that
getting
good?
promo
Just like
cards
having a
that come with
giant
an
ass storm.
Asia-Oceania region
Storm?
exclusive
There's like a
hot
9
stamp
mana
color.
10 12
Needless
and
to
all it
say,
did was
the next
storm.
Grand
Oh, the
Showdown
Genesis
in
Dragon?
Europe will
Is
also
that
feature
good?
promo cards
That was
with
a set
an
one card. It was
exclusive
OP in
hot
set
stamp
one,
color.
but
So you'll be
it's
able
kind
to
of like
show off your
tech
decks
now.
with one
Like,
copy from each
if you
region.
want to be spicy, you
To
can
maintain a
potentially
healthy
run it.
tournament environment for all
Oh,
our
healthy
players,
tournament environment!
updated restriction list
Wait,
for
Vanguard?
Vanguard?
and Weiss.
Oh!
And Weiss Schwarz.
Take
Oh,
back
oh,
all
okay. Oh well, Luard is the
Okay,
sorcerer.
Okay, screw this. Oh yes. Okay, lyrical unrestricted. Okay, whatever.
I'm screen capping. I'm screen capping. I'm screen capping. Where? No, this is still Vanguard. Still Vanguard.
Vanguard. Weiss. Okay.
Oh,
Oh, Chainsaw
okay.
Man.
Details on the restriction list. Check out
Gurley
the
2.
active games on
Gurley
the
2.
website.
Gurley 2.
Kurumida 2?
With Bushiroad Spring
was already
Fest
at
coming
2.
to a close. It's
Oh,
time
wait,
to
wait,
shift
that was-
into
that was
high
not
gear
new?
as we
Okay.
look towards the next
Oh, wait,
World
she was
Cup.
already at 2.
Okay,
Bushiroad
Gerda
Championship
2,
Series
Luna
24,
and
25
Mio
will kick
drop
off this
search.
September
Choose one of
with
2
top
for
challenge.
Hololive to hit 8
Wait,
stamina.
okay. Can you send me the screenshot so I can
Yeah.
I can put it on?
Oh,
after this?
Chainsaw Man got the
You,
same
like
restrictions.
victorious at
Okay, that's
your
pretty
level
good.
score,
That's pretty
you'll receive
good.
a buy card
That's
that
pretty
can be
good.
redeemed at any
Okay,
regional
here.
qualifier
Yeah, just send it
in
to
your
me
region.
on-
Buy cards are
Woohoo!
extremely advantageous.
Oh,
so be
Sokka's
sure to
out.
give it your
He's
all.
dead. Sokka's
Oh,
dead.
he's out. Let's
To
go!
this October in
He's actually
Sacramento,
just dead.
Let's
California.
go.
All
Good
participants
riddance.
will receive an exclusive tote
Kage
bag
is still
and
there.
one promo
Good.
card pack
Wait,
for the
what?
game format.
What? Did they not get the memo? Hello?
Okay, so
Starting from the 24-25
Wait,
season.
okay,
they
wait,
actually killed
Players
Sokka.
who
I'll
reach the
put-
top
I'll put it up
higher
afterwards.
at their respective
Let's
Wait,
qualifiers
with
will
effect
also
from
be receiving
August 9th?
additional
Well, I
prizes.
guess we're not using this for trios.
Wait, no!
Uh-oh.
Randall, please, Randall, please. Please, Randall.
Bro, I already put in the rules, man.
No, Randall, please. No, I picked Randall. Please.
As always, the top
Dude,
2
it's-
and 3 players
it's
each
just-
qualifier
it's just
will
6
receive
days,
certificates
Randall.
and unsponsored invites to the World Finals.
We'll
And the
take a
players
poll.
with
We'll
enough
take a
skill
poll.
and metal to
Please.
become
Oh
the
my
regional
gosh.
qualifier
Wait,
champions
didn't you
will
say
receive
like if it
trophies
came out
and
by a
sponsored
certain day,
invites
it would
to
be
the World
fine?
Finals.
Announced before
And
July
finally, the
21st
World
and
Finals
in
will
effect
be
before
Oh,
August 3rd.
and
is
in
what I
on
put
the
effect.
next conference.
Oh my
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
is what I put on the document.
There will be a ton of
sure.
side
Okay,
events
please,
for you to
poll,
take part in at
please.
each regional qualifier as well. For all
We'll-
our
we'll
finalists,
take a
you'll
poll,
be able
we'll
to
take
take
a
part
poll.
in the
Oh,
premium
guy.
or free fight tournaments, each with its own set of prizes. Please check with your tournament organizer for more information on each side event. Test your anime knowledge in the Cardfight Vanguard animation quiz.
Did we miss
Upon
anything else?
registration,
I don't
you'll
know.
receive
I
a
just
randomized
started
quiz
screaming.
form, and the
There-
highest
there's the
scorers will
Altar
be in the
Liel.
running for a lucky
So
draw
that one
to
only
receive
has
the promo
100
card.
copies
For
in
our
Japanese,
Meisters,
if I remember
all
correctly. It was
participants
either
will be
100 or
able
like
to
1,000.
receive up to
That's
2 copies
crazy.
of of the exclusive New Horizons.
Yeah, I posted a tweet saying if anybody knew about any players that were playing Liel with 4 copies of that in Japanese, and no one got back to me. Because those go for like
Interactive Games official website. For the full
Probably
details.
like a grand to 1.2
We'd like to take
apiece.
this
I
opportunity
think.
to
Oh,
extend a
wow.
heartfelt thank you to
Wow.
all our judges for helping us uphold tournament integrity. As both a present and motivation to our hardworking judges, all our judges will be able to redeem brand new promo cards starting from the Bushiroad Championship Series 24-25
Wow, over
season.
triggers. Whoa, hold up.
Oh, that's nice.
Those are real cards.
Those are nice.
If you're
Those are
looking to
real
become a
cards,
judge,
Power and
start
Makima.
studying because the next
Poggers.
round of judge tests will run from September 1st to October 31st.
I'll be able to get
For
some
those
for
who were able
myself.
to attend Bushiroad Expo
Not bad, not
2024 Los Angeles last week, I hope you had a great time. The fun doesn't stop there as the Bushiroad Expo 2024 experience continues in London next week at Hyper Japan Festival UK. Visitors can experience all our
They will
amazing
probably
exhibits
be
firsthand and
giving
take
out more
part in demo
copies of
sessions
the
for all our games.
Anya
We'll
PR
also be
at
having a
this.
special talk stage with our
assuming-
special guest Izumi
Yeah.
Kita.
That's like a,
somebody-
Senka Kanae
No,
from
sorry,
the
Somebody
second season
in the
of
comments
Half-Life
of my
Vanguard
post on
Defiance.
Twitter where I
We'll
talked
also
about
be
it for the
heading
first time
to
because I didn't know about the
City in
promo until
Philippines
AX, but somebody said
on
that they gave it out at a
October
European
12th
event
and
as well
13th.
prior
And
to
literally
AX.
shortly after.
Does
Stay
Japan
tuned
have
to
that
our
promo as
official
well?
website
The
and
art?
social media
No,
channels
they don't
Yeah,
have
because
it.
I've
information
never
in
seen
the
that art
future.
before, so I was like, wow.
It's time to level
That's
up
cool.
your playing experience as Bushiroad International
Wait, this is
embarks
long.
on a brand new project. Bushi Supplies.
This is
Bushi
a
Supplies
long-
aims to turn you
it's a
into the
long
object
stream.
of envy at your local store with a wide range of trading card game supplies.
I feel like
from
they're
all
usually
our
done
games.
in like
Expect
10
supplies
minutes.
for the
Is
English
this
edition of
just like
Half-Life
official
Vanguard
branding
and Shadowverse Evolve,
for their
as
products?
well as other popular
Because
titles to
like
be
they've been doing
available
Bushi
for
Sleep
pre-order
Collection
at
for
a local store
years and
near you
years
Yeah,
now.
I think
soon.
so, right? Yeah.
With that, we've come to the end of our summer conference. We hope all the updates today have you feeling more fired up than the weather. And as
No,
always,
no,
catch
bad
up
weather,
on
bad
all the
weather.
changes on our official websites and social media channels.
Oh my gosh.
With that, I hope you all stay cool in this blazing heat, and I'll see you in the fall.
That
Okay.
is crazy, dude.
And that's gonna do it for us.
Well, that's gonna do it for the.
That's gonna do it for the stream. Sorry, that's gonna do it for
stream,
their
yeah.
stream. Yeah. Okay. All right.
But
So
now I put up the ban list
okay.
on stream, so we can talk about it now.
All right. Well,
Holy.
let's get the elephant out of the room.
Uh huh.
Sokka's dead. As the hint tweet said, there will be less perspectives. I think it's really funny that when on the intern Kun tweet when he says less perspectives, I feel
Yeah.
like some of us were thinking that they were gonna maybe limit Sokka to like 2, so you could only do it like a couple times, or maybe like limit Sokka to 1 so that you could only like sack it once with Azula, get 1 extra attack.
Uh-huh.
But they just banned him. He's dead.
They just banned his ass. Yeah, let's
He's
go.
dead.
He's so dead.
So this is definitely a crab rave if I ever saw one.
Oh, I'm
This
so
is-
happy, dude. It's crazy.
Okay, so with Sokka banned, what are we looking at for Avatar? Is Avatar even like good anymore? I feel like the removal of Sokka takes Avatar down to like an A- at best deck.
Okay, honestly, every deck needed Sokka, right? Like I think the 4-color deck really wanted Sokka to help get color and
Okay,
other,
like Sokka's just your best plus.
yeah
In the set, he's the best plus, and like it didn't help that he was being used for degenerate things.
Right.
But he was the best plus. He contributes blue for the 4-color anything that requires 4-color strategies. That if you want to use either the Aang or if you want to use the water bending thing. So I feel
Yeah.
like if people try to continue playing the bar standby decks, like I feel like that deck just becomes like an A- tier deck.
I
and
think
then
it's
I think-
worse. I just don't think that deck has any legs anymore. It's just like your ceiling is so bad compared to before,
Mhm.
and like you don't have any extra advantage in the mid game, and it's harder to like do a lot of the stuff that you just got away with doing for free before, right? So my take on Avatar, because I actually do own like most of an Avatar playset. My take is that like the decks that are fine. So I think 4-color is dead. I think all the standby variants are dead. I think 8-bar is like the best deck because it's like it largely didn't use Sokka before, and the replacement for Sokka is Zuko. And Zuko is like the Sarenriki, right? So it's like pay 1, top check.
Oh,
3,
yeah,
put
sure,
1
sure,
to clock,
sure.
and then salvage, right? And Zuko's that's actually a pretty good Riki, right? Like it's kind of insane that they have both Sokka and Zuko, and then just nobody played Zuko. I think Zuko also gets like 2k power on play or something. Like it's like top check on play, top check if
Yeah,
you hit
something like that.
plus 2k, right? Like that's an insane Riki. Like some sets would kill to have that kind of profile. Avatar had it and nobody played it because they just play Sokka, right? So I think any deck that can make do with that Riki profile is probably fine. But I do think that the only deck that seems like it just uses that and doesn't suffer from anything is like 8-bar.
Yeah. The one thing though that I think is really like it's probably going to fly under the radar for most people's like first like knee-jerk reaction to Sokka getting hit is just because you're missing so much more blue, I feel like Waterbending Aang really isn't as viable of a card anymore. Because like just the chance to hit when the concentration of your other colors is higher is probably like skewed a decent amount. And then also if you like, okay, so let's assume that people aren't running Waterbending Aang anymore, right? Then you lose access to multiple lines outside of just like having his ability to like reveal 3 and maybe add a card. You lose the synergy with the Suki Clock Bomb that has on play, on death, grab from clock, because Waterbending Aang was a really, really good card for setting that up. You lose the ability to potentially go from 2-0 to, or like X0 to X1, clocking the 2-1 Aang alarm from your waiting room in order to get extra stock, or even color fix. It changes a lot of things like under the hood that I feel like people aren't going to realize immediately.
Yeah.
And people are definitely going to have to get a little bit creative, I think, to try to come up with a new list if they want to continue playing Avatar.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be very different for sure. I would be surprised if Bar Standby in its current form survives, like at all. And I think 4-color wasn't a very viable option before, and now it's just like I just don't see how it plays anymore.
Okay,
but
so
I do think like somebody in the chat said 8 Standby. I don't think that 8 Standby is. It definitely suffers less compared to Bar Standby, because it can have like a strong mid game.
I think 8 Standby. I think 8 Standby compared to other Standby decks that are being successful in either language right now, it just doesn't have the same defensive tools.
Yeah.
That I think that 8 like this particular 8 Standby deck is definitely more aggressive than other 8 Standby decks like Hololive or Shiny Colors, or Alice Gear, and so it has an advantage in that respect, but at the same time I don't think that it has enough of advantage over hyper aggressive decks in order to really give itself a good niche. But taking a look at the aggressive decks that are also on the restriction list, those being Chainsaw Man and Hololive. So Chainsaw Man got hit with the same restriction that it did in Japanese. It's still seeing a little bit of play here and there. Like you'll probably see like 1 or 2 Chainsaw Man per like 40-50 players, and it pops up in results every so often. Some people have started to go back to running Kishibe in JP, which I think is kind of strange, but initially when the restrictions hit, they just swapped to running 4 copies of the Himeno level 1 that has the Honorverse effect: pay 1, rest 1, ditch 1, salvage 2. But I definitely think that this is I think a lot of people can agree that this is a change for the better.
Right, yeah. I mean, so it's kind of interesting to me that Japan went for like the climax combo Himeno choice if they're playing the level 1 Himeno. I would think that you could probably just play around with like different climax combos and keeping the bomb deck bomb Himeno, because I think that card's just really strong in that deck specifically to get the events. Now that you have 2 less Akis, you kind of really do want all 4 easy revenges to get like the most bang for your buck on your Akis.
No, I definitely think that the Himeno Brainstorm is just like way too powerful.
Yeah, I mean that Brainstorm is so good though.
Your alternatives are literally like turbo booty. They're so not good. And so
That's
like
fair.
you're kind of just forced to continue playing the Himeno. There's like when we like analyze like these super good level 0 combos, like things like this Himeno and the what's it called? The Elizabeth from Seven Deadly Sins.
yeah.
Like Himeno, literally, she just ticks every box.
Yeah, I mean,
like the card is
she
just too
so
good.
That's true. Man. Okay, but it's good. I think this exact hit is probably good because there's no reason to like fix what isn't broken, and it's done its job in JP. So, it'll do its job in English, presumably.
Yeah.
Same thing with the Gura ban. I think it's doing its job. Like JP still plays Gura sometimes, right? They play double Gura. And
No, JP's like only been playing 8 standby for the last.
Well,
okay. I would say based on what I've seen, the Hololive list that people have been playing in Japan is 70% 8 standby, and then it's actually like 25% door variants, things with like Chloe, Marine, things like that, and then like very few people are actually still running Gura.
Right.
That being said, I think that for Western players, I think that they're more likely to stick to playing Gura. Taking the third Gura out of the top end is obviously like it hurts the top end, but you have a lot of really good options such as the Aqua Restand, and I think that just based on the way Western players like to approach Hololive in comparison to JP, I think that they will definitely be more inclined to continue playing Gura with just dropping 2 Guras out of top end.
Right. And so what I'm saying is like I think that restriction worked in JP, right? It took a lot of people off of Gura, and without 100%, I think killing the deck's like viability, right? Regardless of whether our JP still favors it, I think the deck with 2 Gura it's still viable. Like you can still play it if you want. What is different from the JP list is this Hololive Luna Mio hit. This is completely different. It's actually kind of out of left field because like, because Japan just recently hit their standby deck, in a really crazy way, right? They manipulated the choose 4 list to include 3 cards, or actually technically all 4
they
cards.
Added 2. They added 2 and they took off 2, and then all the 4 cards that are now on the choice list are cards that pertain to 8 standby, which are Luna plus Rest Counter, which by the way is not here, so you can still play Rest Counter with Luna in English.
Yes.
And then the Kanata Field Swap and the Polka Magi. I think the Polka Magi is the one that, at least from what I've seen on social media, is the one that people are the most confused by.
Right.
Because some people think that the card either wasn't strong enough or wasn't problematic. I would probably fall into the latter. I think the card was very strong, but I don't think it was necessarily a problematic card.
No, I agree.
Mio is actually the card that both myself and other people that I saw on social media thought was to be part of the hits to Japanese 8 standby. And so when they didn't show it on JP's, I'm now very interested to try and figure out their thought process to put it on the English list instead.
Right. Okay. So here's my take, right? So I think the JP list, obviously, it like completely neuters that deck, right? You have 4 cards that were all in that deck at one point in time at full power. But the interesting thing about the JP list is that only one of the cards of those choose 4 was ever played at 4 copies, which is the Luna, right? You'd play like 1, maybe 2 Rest Counter, probably 1. You play 2 Kanata Field Swap. You play like 2 Polka Magi, right? So like even though you're losing 3 cards, you're only losing like 5 cards from your deck, right? And obviously these cards are very important. They enable a lot of these strategies, whatever, right? But the interesting thing with Mio and Luna is that both of these cards are played at 4 copies. So even though you're only losing 1 card, and obviously you're choosing Luna, right? I don't see a world where you're choosing Mio, but you are losing 4 copies of that 1 card from your generic list, which is like almost the same effect, at least card quantity wise, as the JP list. Obviously, quality wise, you can replace Mio with other cards that kind of do its job. But it is kind of interesting that they chose to like hit 2 cards that were played at max copies in this deck.
Okay, so I have an argument against that. So the thing about 8 standby Hololive, and a big reason why I think that like that number of copies argument like doesn't actually mean anything, is because like realistically the thing that you should be looking at for the cards that they hit is the role that they play. And with Kanata at 2, that like doesn't actually matter because of a card that JP has had for the last 3 months that we have not, which is the Kali level 0. That has been an extremely key card for 8 standby JP Hololive ever since it got introduced back in the summer set back in March. For those of you who don't know, the Kali's effect, she's a 0025. At the start of your climax phase, you can accelerate by clocking a character from your waiting room, search your deck for a Hololive character, add it to your hand, and then discard a card. And that allows you to accomplish several things at once. It can boost you to level 1 due to clocking yourself. It can allow you to color fix. It allows you to get specific cards that you want from your deck into your hand, and it allows you to get cards that you don't want in your hand into your waiting room. And the combination of those last 2 can essentially allow the Kali to serve as a Foolish Burial effect, which was a way that you could very easily and consistently get Kanata onto your field as fast as possible. So you could do a line like clock from 05 to 06, play Kali, clock to 10, search Kanata, dump Kanata, play standby, bring her out. And it was an extremely powerful way to start your game as 8 standby Hololive. And the Kali is not a card that we have had in English until literally this last weekend because of the Anime Expo pre-release. But I definitely think that them hitting 8 standby in advance is very interesting, considering that we haven't had a chance to use the Kali yet. But going back to what you were saying about the number of actual counts of cards in your deck, I definitely don't think that is really as applicable when you consider the loss of the role that the Kanata Field Swapper had from the deck. And with this Mio restriction, obviously the Mio is a very powerful card that JP still gets to use, but we'll have to see how this restriction affects the English version of the deck.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't making an argument that it was like an equivalent Banlist. I was just pointing out that was like interesting, like that functionally this almost the same quantity of cards from the deck got hit, but like obviously the role is very different, right? And I think like the JP list is way more like aggressive and damaging your deck because you're losing cards that there are no replacements for, right? But like there's obviously lesser replacements for Mio, but you can have cards that do pretty similar role, and you're only trying to fix like one role in the deck, right? Whereas JP, you lose like so many different options.
I mean, is there really a card that replaces Mio's roles? Because the thing is that the top check 2.
That's fair. I mean, that's fair.
Top check 2 is one thing. Being able to trigger standby over Mio, pay out the standby, clean out your hand, search your deck for a card is like that's silly. That's really, really silly.
Yeah, I think the way you would have to replace Mio's quote-unquote role in a deck is you would have to play multiple different cards to do the different things, right? So, like, for example, I think one way you could get the same effect of, like, the trigger standby, pay out the stuff is you could play, like, one copy of the the Bales. Why did I think? Haku's. Her last name is Haku's, yeah. The Bales on death card, like, on play, on death, the top check 3. Because the idea, I think, is that if you have one copy and it's in your waiting room, you can like standby it out, and then you can, or like you like Rainy for it and you play it, and then you can like always standby over it, so that you can. There's like other cards that kind of do similar-ish things, but obviously no one card does everything that Mio does, right? Mio does like 5 different things for this deck, so it's like crazy.
Right.
All right. Let's see here. Fix. Oh, so obviously no other bans, right? So the only sets that got hit were Hololive, Chainsaw Man, and Avatar, and no set got unhit, right? I don't see anything.
No,
doesn't look
we should probably double check that.
Do we have
I'm on the rules. I'm going to the rules page right now.
Okay. I'm just going to go to Weiss tea time. Banlist?
Deck construction rules. Let's see. So Quince still there, Daylife still there, Seven Deadly Sins still there, Slime still there, Sword Art, Hololive, Kaguya, Batman Ninja. Yeah, everything else is the same.
Everything else. Okay, so I mean, like, man, Kaguya is still bad. What the heck?
Yeah. So like, obviously, some of the things that they could have done was they could have changed Sword Art to the JP restriction. Although I think on that post when they originally talked about the Alice restriction, they were against banning cards if they didn't need to, and I guess in Avatar's case they needed to. Kaguya-sama, it just came off in JP. Just take it off in English. It's a matter of time. Like it'll happen. It'll happen probably within like the next year, probably.
Yeah.
Data Live. We have a few people in chat saying please unrestrict Data Live. So JP is still on this restriction. I think that they could get rid of the choice restriction first, but I do not think that they should bring Kurumi back to 2 just yet. I think they just need to do it.
Oh, you mean back to 4?
One step. What did I say?
You said back to 2.
Back from 2 to 4. I think they just need to take steps one at a time, and then eventually we'll get there.
Yeah, I agree. I think the restrictions are fine for the most part. Outside of Kaguya, I think Kaguya is the one that's like obviously like why is this here? But like everything else, I think it's fine the way it is. Like these decks are still relevant, and like. You don't need to rush it with these things, right? Like there's a lot of new sets coming in that people can play. Disliking that S7DS got off scot-free, that is kind of interesting.
I think SDS right now is on the it's on the very strong end of fair. Like I definitely think that SDS is like probably one of the best decks going into this next format with this new ban list, but I think that going into this ban list, it wasn't that strong that it needed to get additional restrictions. So we'll have to see moving forward, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think like what do you call it? I think compared to Hololive and Chainsaw Man and the degeneracy that was Avatar, it's like definitely not as crazy because it plays a pretty fair game at every level, and there's definitely like trade-offs. I personally, I said this the last stream and I still stand by it. I think the only problematic thing about STS is the fact that they have both stock swap and Fumio.
Stock swap and Fumio, yeah.
So I would like to see both of those on some kind of choice list. Honestly, I would be okay with choice 1 of 4, just the four things on there. Like, I think that's fine. Like, I just don't think any set should have stock swap Fumio together anymore.
What would you think if a list had Gil Thunder, Bouncer, stock swap Fumio, choose 1 of 3, and Escanor came off?
Escanor came
because
off.
then if you do that list, then Escanor is literally like, it's just Escanor and then like Merlin bounce, and then that's all you got, right?
Well, no, you can choose Gil Thunder bounce, no?
Oh wait, yeah, you're right, actually.
Yeah. No, so it would need to be
so
all
that wouldn't
4.
work.
It
would actually have to be all 4. Yeah.
Yeah. I think having all 4 makes sense to me because those are all cards that like. Because we can't have the Escanor deck back in any way, shape, or form as it was with those 2 cards, and then I think stock swap Fumio just cannot be in the same deck. Specifically the new Fumio, not the old Fumio. The old Fumio, they can play that one if they want. Like that costs like 6 stock.
Oh, you mean the pig?
The pig, yeah. They can pig. I don't care.
So some of the other stuff in chat, it's interesting how they restrict very defensive standby. Okay, so the thing is that in Japan right now, they're having a really big issue where none of the decks have an aggressive enough endgame in order to make standby not be the best deck right now. The best decks in Japan up until the restriction list that just happened were all standby decks. Like top 3 is literally Shiny Colors, Alice Gear, Hololive. Those are the top 3 decks. Defensive decks are very, very strong in JP in the last couple months because of Gura and Pad being nerfed. And as we said earlier, I think that Western players are much more likely to continue playing Gura than JP players. So I definitely think that defensive decks are not going to be as strong, but I do think that Hololive is still Hololive, if it went unchecked in English, I think would probably be a pretty easy top 5 deck going into the upcoming format. And I think that with the hit that they did give it, it is kind of just like a check just to make sure that it's not as dominant as it was in JP.
Yeah, I think this hit is like I actually really like it because obviously like it has had some results, but not to the extent of JP. But like it's like a creativity hit to me almost. I talked about in the previous streams where like I like them doing creativity hits where like it just kind of forces Western players to just like think, you know, like it's not following the JP ban list, so you can't just copy JP list. You gotta think for yourself, like how do you want your deck to build your deck, like how do you want to like, you know, strategize, and you know it just forces players to be more creative, and it'll result in like cool lists from people as they come up with their own spicy techs and their own ratios and stuff like that. I just like that. I think that's just good for the competitive scene. Yeah.
So we also have, I was wondering if something like Fiona level 1 from Spy Family could get restricted. I 100% disagree. Spy Family is like at best an A tier deck. Fiona is like easily the most broken part of the deck, and then everything around it is very mid, very, very mid.
And Fiona's not consistent. Like sometimes you just miss all the markers and that deck does nothing. So I think Fiona, it's not as bad. Overlord's still free. That's funny, but like Overlord just hasn't had the success in the Western metagame as it has in JP, so you just really can't, you know, you can't hit it. It's
actually just because less people are bringing it. That's actually the reason.
Less people bring it. I think the overall pace of the meta in English is just way more aggressive, right? You have decks that you have a lot more level 0 combo decks because you have like virtue of having SDS. I think players in the West are just generally more aggressive. So Overlord just gets fewer turns to set up, and I think a lot of times they just get rushed down. Like the way you beat Overlord is by rushing them, like bun rushing them, right? And so like I think a lot of Western players are just super down to clown, to like Trifield Slam Climax like super early, and I think Overlord just they'll get into deck states where it's harder to play from behind. For the
I
overload
definitely
player.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's keep going
and then
down. Gura nerfs really
some of-
bad. They're okay. I think Gura's still playable.
It's definitely still playable.
Yeah.
It's just Japan doesn't want to play it.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that did not get announced, we did not get Bunny Girl 3, we did not get an English original announcement,
Oh, we
and
didn't
we
get
did
English
not,
original. That's crazy. Yeah.
and we did not get, what was the other one that someone said? Someone said Quince Premium Booster. So yeah, those are all definitely things that I think that we would like to get announced within like the next half a year or so. Especially Quince Premium. It's definitely Quince has definitely been doing okay, but I think that the Miku players would definitely like to see the new Brainstorm come out. And
yes.
I'm actually not entirely sure how Nino would be affected by the new cards, because obviously Japan has shifted into that new build of Nino where you run the 2-2 combo into the 3-2 stand itself combo, and you play defensive and you choose the minus soul counter. I definitely think that that's more of a JP deck than an English deck, though. I think English players would probably still continue just keep playing the same thing they always have been playing for set 3.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so far we have announcements all the way to December. I think we have like all the set releases until December, except for like the English original, if that one's English original, if that one's going to be released in December or not. And then we have Nikkei in April, so we still have a few sets that they can announce for fall in between that time frame, between like the December-April time frame. So hopefully the fall stream is going to give us some new titles. Yeah, there's like Fujimi Volume 2 that just got announced in JP that could easily come over to English, I think. And then no Blue Archive. Is Blue Archive a shoe-in for English? I don't know. It just depends on Nexon, right? Nexon licensing might not be as easy.
I'm not
Premium
sure, yeah.
Booster English announcements expected here or later. I have no idea.
Oh, we have a link from Mike. Mike has linked us. They have an official page on the Weiss site detailing some of the reasoning behind.
Oh, really? Ooh.
Behind the restrictions.
I pinned that message. If anybody wants to see, it's pinned onto the top. Very cool. Oh, we can
Okay.
review it on stream. Actually, let me pull that up.
I figured that's what we were going to do when I told you about it.
Whoops, I didn't. No, the message came like slow, so I didn't. Okay, let's see here. Updates. All right, here we go. Pulled it up. Let's. All
right. I'll just go ahead and
slow.
I'll start reading the Sokka one, I guess.
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, so Intern Kun says, while Avatar has maintained a healthy X2, and I'm assuming that's supposed to be X2 and higher conversion rate, the unpredictability that Sokka offers has contributed to an increasingly unhealthy environment. Agree. Sokka may have been offering players with 1 too many perspectives, or maybe 3 too many perspectives, if you know what I mean, allowing them additional attacks at all stages of the game for minimal cost. Yes, true. The restriction aims to reduce the unpredictability of playing against Avatar, allowing for more skill expression in the game. So this is a point that I've seen on social media. In particular, Ken Zabuton has been very, very vocal about. His problem with Sokka was not even so much about the finisher turn with Azula being able to do like 9 instances of damage. His main problem was randomly getting Sokkas in the middle of the game and just giving extra attacks at a point in the game where you should realistically never be able to have extra attacks, and it just completely changes the normal dynamics of Weiss, and so I completely agree with him on those points. How about you, Simu? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it's exactly what Ayame was able to do back in the day, right? And like we all agree that Ayame was not okay. That got banned before English players even got to try it out. So
the weird thing about Ayame though is that Ayame was like, you literally had to dedicate everything to your Ayame, basically. And then in the Sokka deck, you just have 4 Sokkas.
Yeah.
And it's just like, did I hit standby? Oops. Guess we're going in. Let's go.
Whoops.
And
who could have foreseen?
Who could have seen this coming? Yeah. So
as I kill off my Sokka with my 2/2 Azula, who could have foreseen this? Like,
yeah,
man.
While I do agree that both of them are like in that same bubble of like things that should not be happening, the fact that Sokka was literally just like a card that you would run anyway, and then just randomly sometimes you flip heads on your opponent, and then they're taking like 3 extra damage. It's just like, nice meme, dude.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they're both degenerate in slightly different but also similar ways. So, yeah. Agreed.
Okay.
All right. Next
Shall
is
we
Chainsaw
move
Man.
on to Chainsaw Man?
Would you like to?
You wanna?
Oh,
I did the first one. Go
True,
ahead.
true. Let me do this one. All right. Intern Kun note. Chainsaw Man has been on a rampage with over 50% of players achieving an X2 and a conversion rate of over 20%. Forming an alliance Himeno and break time Himeno form the core of the East. It's not East. Okay. Easy revenge engine, allowing players to generate a resource advantage while building towards the eventuality of Public Safety Devil Extermination Special Division for Aki Hayakawa. In tandem, the package has offered players with a little too much consistency and efficiency. While the statistics may be slightly skewed due to Bushiroad Springfest 2024 being a team tournament, we will be taking a preemptive action to prevent any further bloodshed in the upcoming Bushiroad Championship Series 24-25 season. We will continue to monitor the situation for the upcoming circuits and take action as necessary.
Okay,
Could have just said copy Japan. Like,
I feel like the statistics are better because it's a team tournament, because you have less likelihood of Chainsaw Man running into each other.
Oh, that's true too.
Because
Yeah.
the more Chainsaw mirrors you have, the closer the win rate is going to get to 50%. I think that's how the math works, right?
Yes, because Chainsaw Man has to lose if they hit each other. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you have a higher chance of Chainsaw Mans running into non-Chainsaw Mans, then that just makes the win rate even higher than it would have been in a solo environment. So
Correct,
I think that
correct. Yeah.
I think that this is a even clearer indicator that Chainsaw Man was really, really strong.
Right. And I mean, and then I think like the conversion rate is insane if you think about it. It's like a team tournament. That's like it's like so easy for a team to convert if they have Chainsaw Man. So yeah. Jeff just said Japan. Anyways, okay. Hololive. Would you like to do the honors?
Okay, Hololive. So, the shark-infested waters have made trips to the beach a dangerous affair, with over 40% of players boasting X2 and maintaining a conversion rate of nearly 20%. By itself, Gura is a potent finisher that can clinch a win from as early as level 2. True. In addition, both Mio and Luna have proven to be strong utility pieces that greatly improve the consistency of the deck being standby, I would assume. No? Actually,
I don't
what's
know.
going on here?
I don't know if they can write. I don't know if they know what they're saying here, but I think they're just cooking too hard with the flavor.
Okay. Those two are really good in standby, so okay.
Yes. I think they knew what they were doing with the hit, right? This hit makes sense to me. I think this is an intelligent hit, even if the description here is a little unintelligible. All right.
Okay, so apparently Toka, we actually did miss that the Toka 1-0 came off. That card's been off in Japan for a bit now, I think.
Wait, did it just come off?
Yeah, that's what it says here. Yeah, I went back and I checked, and it said choose one of 3 on the old list.
Oh wow! Wait, you're right. What the heck? That's crazy.
So this is new. I'm pretty sure that card has already been off in Japanese, but I'm going to double check right now.
That was a paragraph of all time. That's so funny. All right. Anyways, we think it's time for Toka to don her school uniform, so we're cautiously removing school uniform Toka from the choice restriction on Daily Live. We don't expect the deck to surge in popularity, but if it does, ... Apparently, okay.
It's fine. This is more of this is more of just like it was time to come off.
Yeah.
And
makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, and then it's at the very bottom. We will continue to monitor tournament statistics, whatever, yada yada. It's nice. It's always great to hear, to have like these insights. I would appreciate a little less flavor, a little bit more just like, here's the business. I think we're all here to. This is for the competitive players. Like, you don't need this much flavor. Cooking a little too hard with the Hololive one. That's funny.
Okay, so
Right.
I think that just about covers everything that we wanted to talk about. At least with English. Was there anything that you wanted to say about the JP list? Because somebody else asked if we wanted to give our opinions on those.
Yeah.
Apart from the ones we've already talked about, though, like Hololive.
Right. I mean, is there anything to talk about? I don't know. JP list seems fun. Seems good.
Well, okay, so the exact hits were Alice Gear, Project Sekai, Shiny Colors, Albuta, and Hololive. And then the stuff that came off was Kaguya.
Yay,
Love Live Sunshine
Kaguya.
got a Yo back. Simple Gear got the Field Encore back. Sword Art got Sprig and Kirito back, which they should have gotten last list. And Overlord got the rest counters.
Yeah. I mean, let's see here. So like, what do we think about next meta? I think.
Yeah, here.
I mean,
I can give you the image
screenshot?
from Weiss Tea Time.
Oh sure. I already. Yeah, let me take that. Oh yeah, this is a big image. All right. Let's see here. Banlist image. Oh, whoop. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the meta is gonna be a lot more lower power compared to before, which is good. I think. Like yeah, a lot less scam finishers, so that's gonna be nice. I think scam finishers are not very fun to play with. There's just like, or to play against. There's just like nothing you can really do against them in terms of like preparation. So it's really good to see them kind of address that.
All right, which one were we talking about right now? I was typing in chat.
Oh, I was just saying JP.
JP in general?
Yeah,
or?
JP in general. They're getting rid of a lot of the scam finishers. Like or the decks that could play scam finishers. Which is
and
good.
then they're printing Rurouni Kenshin.
And then they're printing new scam finishers, but let's not talk about that. I think they're also hitting like the AGS deck, which I think is like a really unfun deck to play against if like they get really lucky and they can snowball the game. So it's just like they're just like hitting some unfun stuff. I do think they could have gone a little harder because they're still the Miku deck, right? That can still play kind of scam and is largely unhit. I guess it's completely unhit. And then as you can see, this banlist is like really large, and I think in order to like counteract that, I think a lot of this banlist could have taken a lot more stuff off too, to like make the banlist smaller, and then add like a bunch of new stuff, right? Like I made like this 3-post long tweet of like all the stuff that I think could have like come off, because like, you know, like
yeah,
some of this stuff is just not relevant anymore.
I definitely don't think that Miku was. Okay, the thing about Miku is that she had a big surge in popularity, but her actual like win rate wasn't as high as some of these other decks. And then even more recently, now that Japan has started picking up the defensive Nino builds, Miku hasn't even been played as much as Nino. People are actually playing more Nino than Miku right now.
Okay, that's nice. So,
I definitely think that it was more of just like Miku hype, just because people were just kind of hopping on that new brainstorm for their decks and seeing how well she does with her effect being mill 5 bottom instead of mill 4 bottom. But it's definitely not strong enough to be on here, I think.
Yeah, like I've said, like I think they can unrestrict Saikano, they can unrestrict Little Busters, they can probably give us back Refresh Punch and Bane Dream. They can probably they can probably kill the Choice 2 in Sunshine, kill the Choice in Data Live. There's just so much they can give us back on this list that like has not been doing anything for like the longest time, and then just hit some more recent stuff. But I think it's fine. I think with this list, I definitely feel a lot better playing in the JP format, but especially with some of the sets that are coming up, I don't think it fixes the core issue of the JP format just being a little bit too fast, too furious.
Wait, for JP?
For JP, yeah.
No, JP format is the exact opposite. JP format is extremely slow right now.
Right now, I think.
Yeah, the defensive like post list or before the list, because before the list, defensive decks were easily the top 3 decks in the format. Like the game was extremely slow.
Well, I mean, I think in Japan, the game was extremely slow, but I think the power of decks, or like the power of like the finishers specifically in the Japanese meta, when translated into like the Western player like hands, has caused at least our local meta to be a little bit too fast, too furious. So like,
Okay,
want
so
to see.
I assume you're talking about when you say our. I assume you mean yours, right?
Sure. I mean, has everybody been playing defensive decks down in SoCal?
Everyone's just been playing like there's been a few Alice Gears. There's been definitely some Shiny Mass, and then a lot of the other players have just been playing decks they like, which has been just like literal random whatevers. So
Right. But what I'm saying is like, I guess like cause like I think most of the so like the decks that we've been seeing a lot of here, there are a lot of players playing Project Sekai, right? And I think that deck is extremely just slam 1k1, just go face, attack, scam you, right? And then I played against like, you know, Bunny Girl. Like I think so I'm saying I'm happy that they're hitting the decks that do that kind of play style. But I feel like that's still like the predominant like game design. Like they're giving sets just too much like advantage and like finishing potential these days. Like I feel like I would like to see the power level of Weiss kind of get dialed back a bit, but it doesn't seem like that's gonna happen anytime soon. Is what I'm saying.
I'm of the opposite opinion. Like I acknowledge that the fact that the defensive decks were on the top of the game is that just like there were no finishers that were naturally strong enough to get past them. Like that like one factor of that is, as I've been saying previously on the stream, is that Japanese players just aren't playing Gura, and they definitely could be playing Gura. But apart from that, you actually look at the finishers that are available in these decks, and they're just they just like do not punch hard enough. And the ones that do punch hard enough, they need to scam the opponent using like an Icy Tail type effect.
Right.
And so there's no naturally strong finisher right now anymore. And so I feel like that's what Japan really needs right now. So I think that going into the upcoming format, unless they print some really strong finishers, Japan's side is going to be at like an all-time low in comparison to English. I think English compared to Japan is going to be like significantly stronger. If you actually take a look at the two side by side.
I see. Interesting. I mean, yeah. I feel like that's just an unwillingness of Japanese players to go for like really strong finishers in general. I think it's like, I think their player base is more inclined to like play more defensively or opt for more of like a heal down play style. I think, I think in terms of like actual finishers, and there's not that many finishers in English that don't exist in Japan, right? Outside of like, I think like Hendrickson's the only one that we have in English that's like significantly relevant.
Yeah, Stockswap Fumio Hendrickson
is
crazy.
And
Stockswap Fumio Hendrickson not existing in JP, and then also JP's unwillingness to continue playing Gura are, in my opinion, the two biggest things that English has over Japan right now.
Right, yeah. But what I'm saying is like Japan has a bunch of sets in Japanese that have strong finishers that they just don't choose to play, right? I guess. Like I would say
the closest finisher package in Japanese format that would do something on these levels, in my opinion, is Uma Musume.
Yeah,
I think Uma Musume
is finisher package is super strong.
I think Uma is probably a top 5 going into the next Japanese format.
Yeah, no, for sure, yeah. I agree. I think Uma's super strong. I'm kind of surprised he didn't get hit, but like it is, yeah. But like even I don't know. Like what was I gonna go with this? Yeah, I think Japan is just gonna play defensive, even if you print like really good finishers. But like the problem with printing really good finishers is that the Western players are just gonna super tunnel on these good finishers, and I feel like there's like it's gonna be hard to find a sweet spot for these two different regions because of just the differences in playstyle and mentality, right? So I'm kind of only really thinking about like for like the West and kind of like the locals that I'm familiar with. Like I think most people are like, yeah, we would like to see slightly weaker top ends so that we can feel like we can play the game for longer. But yeah, I guess it's just different, right? Every local scene is different. Maybe there are locals. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's different with their way of understanding the deck. Isn't Ruoni crazy? Yeah, I thought Ruoni had like a crazy deck. Or isn't it just Pecorine though? The Rurouni finisher?
No, that's from the bottom, and I'm talking about the red one. The red one,
Oh,
the red one that we're talking about in chat is it's an on attack, pay 2, ditch 1, reveal 2 copies of the Riki in your hand, burn 2, burn 2, and then there is a Musashi plus 2 levels, but you have to reveal 2 copies of the Riki, which you're going to be doing anyway for the combo, and so that whole turn costs 8 stock, and I think that's
pretty cheap.
Quite strong. So you get, yeah.
Oh, sorry. No, I going back to the English ban list real quick though. I feel like Guilty Gear definitely gets a bit of rising stock, cause like, I think that deck is strong, and obviously it's just like, I think that deck kind of gets bodied by Avatar like really hard, cause Avatar just like blasts that deck before that deck gets to like have its 2 turns of like ram combos and stuff like that. But like without Avatar, I think that deck has a lot of potential to do well if Overlord doesn't get suddenly popular, because I think the Overlord matchup for that deck is awful. So
honestly, the thing keeping from Overlord from getting onto the list is the fact that not enough people are playing it. That's actually just the reason.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, it'd be interesting. I do hope Guilty Gear gets more rep, but then like, I think if Guilty Gear gets a lot more rep, then Overlord gets a lot more rep, because I think Overlord just hard wins, and then yeah, then we have a lot of people playing Overlord. Oh no. Sorry, did you have any? You kind of already talked about your thoughts on the JP ban list, but do you have any like closing remarks on what you're excited about for like the next JP format?
I'm mostly just gonna see how Uma does. I think a lot of people have Uma on their radar because it is both a set that didn't get hit and a set that has an upcoming second set. That being said, I think the reveals for the second set so far are like just fine. I feel like a lot of the formula for Uma is already in the first set.
Yeah, I mean they have like a really well-oiled machine already. They don't really need much for that deck at least.
Let's see. Anything besides that? No, I think that covers about everything.
All right. We wrapping it up.
Okay. Should I? Am I doing that?
Or,
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, let's just wrap through some last questions here. Is Freewind doing well in JP? It's fine. It's I've been playing Freewind a decent amount. I've been playing a lot of 8-book. Mike has been testing Freewind. He's been playing book pants. It's fine. I think it has some strong cards, but overall, I think that the entire set lacks anything unfair. It's just a very fair deck. It's very fair. There's nothing that's like extremely degenerate at a point in the game where it would be unfair. I think the book cards are really strong, but it's just like it's fair. It's fine. Persona 3 Reload? Locations up for BCS? Wait, hold up.
Do you guys plan to do any JP content for Weiss? Not on this channel. This channel is basically intended to only cover the English side of Weiss. For JP, any JP stuff that we would be looking to do would be on our own individual channels.
Hold. There's locations for BCS up?
So I tried clicking on the BCS page and it's just loading
It's
still.
loading. Okay, well, if that loads,
they're in
we'll
Discord. They're in Discord.
Oh, they're in Discord? Oh, shoot.
So we have Sacramento is October 5th and 6th.
Sacramento?
Yeah, and then there's let's see. There's a Pasadena one in March of next year.
California gets 2?
Yep.
Whoo! That's privileged. Let's go.
California gets 2. That's
Holy,
crazy.
That's crazy.
And then also the prizing. I don't know if we missed it earlier, but it was on the stream.
Wait, that's my birthday, October 5th.
Oh, OP.
OP.
The streaming, or not the streaming, the prizing is going to be top 4 promo card is the 3-0 event from Oshinoko. And the top 8 playmat is going to be Ayakashi Triangle for some reason. Like, who asked for this?
Who asked for this? But, oh, the promo card, Oshinoko card, that's cool.
And there's going to be a top cut premium PR pack, which will contain 1 of 6 hot stamp promo cards. What?
What does that even mean?
I don't know. We'll have to see what those are eventually,
okay.
I guess.
Wow, Sacramento and freaking Pasadena. That's insane, dude. That's so cool. We're so privileged. Oh, and they're like gonna be like completely different metas, huh? It's like October and then March. That's like
there will probably be a restriction update between the two halves at some point.
That's wild. Wait, I'm gonna move down in September and I'm gonna come back up to play in Sac. That's funny. Judge or play? Well, actually, I'll probably judge, huh? Probably judge.
Okay. I think that pretty much wraps up everything that we wanted to talk about today. So thanks to everybody for coming in. And coming up on the channel, we will have our Shakugan no Shana content block starting next Friday, if I remember correctly. And so yeah, Mike and I will see you guys then once that content block starts. And until next time on the Tressa's Collectibles channel, this has been Randall, aka Shizukats.
And Chairman, wait. Simu, also known as Chairman. There we go. Alright. Bye.
Bye.